I kind of wanted to talk about that concept of how trust and verify applies to government. I talked about this a long time ago, a while ago, in my video about education and how trust and verify applies to education, specifically towards teachers and students. The tension or the dichotomy between trust and verify versus control and blame applies equally as well to government. And perhaps government is even the better example of how this happens. In government, you can see this trust and verify turning to control and blame from the bottom to the top. At the top, you see it with bureaucracy. Most of the things people complain about bureaucracy, most of the things that people complain about when they complain about bureaucracy has nothing to do with bureaucracy. Bureaucracy is organizing government into bureaus. Those bureaus sometimes have regulation and red tape, but most of the most onerous red tape, most of the most controlling stipulations are not presented by those bureaucracies. They're presented by Congress. It's Congress trying to tie the hands of the bureaucracy, trying to control it, trying to limit it, trying to micromanage every action that the bureaucracy takes. That's what makes bureaucracy, quote unquote, bureaucratic. Without that, what you have is a group of people that have a responsibility and want to get stuff done. The goal of a bureau is to make the country better by serving an important purpose. But when Congress sticks their fingers in the pudding and says, you have to do this, you have to do that, you can't do this, you can't do that, they stop the bureaucracy from being able to be responsive. They slow that bureaucracy down. They interfere with its natural function. They interfere with the theoretical purpose of bureaucracy, which has to do with trust and responsibility. And ultimately, in this country, we don't believe in responsibility anymore, but we should. We should believe in responsibility. But you also see this problem of trust but verify turning into control and blame on a much lower level. You see it in calls for direct democracy. The purpose of representative government is to elect someone who has the time and the expertise to represent your interests without you having to know everything. But when it comes to direct democracy, when it comes to trying to have the electorate make as many of the decisions as possible, well, that's all about control. And that need for control is at the root of the blame, of the hostility that exists in our government today between the parties, between various ideological positions among the electorate. It all has to do with discarding trust in favor of personal control. And that is something that I want to talk about a lot more, but I'm at work now. So I will continue this later.